thank you to Desky for partnering up on a portion of this video. As life goes on, things get busy, and sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. I need to work, vacuum the house, do the dishes, go to the gym, do the laundry. Did I remember to water the plants? Have I made enough meal prep for the week? I should really go mow the lawn. Also, I gotta clean the car. Oh, and I forgot to email Gary. Honestly, it's hard to find the time to game. Enter the Steam Deck, a portable handheld gaming machine that's changed the way I game. Because of a few fundamental features, the Steam Deck has simplified the gaming process so that gaming is easier than ever to slot into my life. But it's not dumbed down. There's still a lot of versatility for me to do some really cool stuff. So I want to walk through how I've been using it for everything from handheld gaming to a complete living room setup as a media player and for 4K gaming. But first, a word from the partners of this video. I've been in the process of building a sort of workshop/studio setup so I can mess around with 3D printing and also streamline the process of making these YouTube videos. So I've partnered up with Desky, who have sent me one of their dual motor sit-stand desks. Since this is going to be a space I'm working in, I want to keep things clean and minimal at baseline so there'd be less distractions and so I have more space to work with mid-project. Cable clutter is just one of those things that makes any desk setup feel messy and kind of overwhelming. So Desky's cable management accessories are one of their best features. Desky's cable bar has integrated power points, so I didn't have to drill any holes or mess around with double-sided tape to mount a power board. Actually, for the frame, I didn't have to drill any holes. Little details like bolt inserts already in the table make building the desk super easy. The power points are spread out, so I don't have to route any cables outside of the bar. There's also a magnetic accessory to hide dangling cables, so everything is super tidy. Since this is a workshop table, flexibility is a must, so I've attached Desky's lockable caster wheels to keep things flexible. Plus, it also makes things easier if I ever need to add or remove cables in the future. The desk itself has a height range of 23.6 to 49.2 inches and supports up to 308.6 pounds. The controller has 4 programmable presets, which is handy for quickly adjusting heights, as well as Bluetooth connectivity with Siri integration if wireless control is more your thing. For longer sessions at the desk, there's also a programmable sedentary alarm as a friendly reminder to stay active. To keep things on the desk clean, Desky has a bunch of accessories like their under desk drawer to keep things hidden but still within reach, and their monitor stand for extra storage space. If you want to check out Desky's sit-stand desk, I'll leave a link in the video description. So, what makes the Steam Deck feel so good? Well, it all starts with the software. When you power on the Steam Deck, it immediately launches a version of Steam's Big Picture mode, which in this case is called Game Mode, and it is a really nice interface. While most other handhelds run on Windows, it's a bit of a janky experience because Windows just isn't built for tiny screens. Don't get me wrong, there are advantages to running Windows, but it just isn't built for this kind of form factor. Whereas Steam's Game Mode is designed for a controller setup, and I definitely notice it. It's a super polished experience with an awesome UI that's made it really easy for me to jump straight into my games. But there's really one feature that makes the Steam Deck feel like a truly portable gaming device rather than a PC I'm just carrying around, and that's the fact that it has a sleep mode. With just a tap of the power button, the Steam Deck stops the game and goes to sleep. And that means I can just put it down, just like that, which gives it a similar feeling to another device I use on the daily. My mobile phone. I don't turn off my phone every time I'm done using it. I wake it up, I use it, and when I'm done, I just put it back to sleep. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm playing SSX at the moment, and yeah, the Steam Deck is great for emulation. I'll talk about that a little later on. But I'm playing SSX at the moment, and say I need to do something. Instead of having to quit the game and completely power off the Steam Deck, I can just tap the power button and the Steam Deck goes to sleep. And then I go finish whatever I'm doing, and when I get back, tap the power button again, and the Steam Deck picks up exactly where I left off. Oops. And I gotta say, the Steam Deck feels really great to use. A criticism that I had with the Legion Go was the noise. The fans got super loud, and that can definitely be a bit distracting. Pair that with the fact that it had some pretty weak sounding speakers, well, unless you're committed to headphones, the noise can get a bit distracting. With the Steam Deck though, the fans aren't a problem. Don't get me wrong, the Steam Deck still gets hot, and there are fans moving a lot of heat out of the vents, which some of you seem to really like. But the difference is the fans are quiet. Plus, the Steam Deck has some really great sounding front-facing speakers, meaning I don't hear the fans. And because of that, I don't feel like I'm holding a device that's overheating, which actually really adds to the experience. So because the Steam Deck is such a convenient way to game, people have been calling it the ultimate backlog killer. And that's especially true when you take into consideration its potential for emulation, which unlocks a whole new side of things. Using EmuDeck, I've been able to play some of my favorite games from older consoles. Games like Beautiful Joe, SSX3, and for nostalgia's sake, Digimon Rumble Arena 2. Games that I never really got a chance to finish off. Well, now I can easily go back. When I get a chance to kick back, it's just super easy to knock out a quick 20-minute session. And because these older titles aren't that taxing to run on the system, you get awesome battery life. And just a quick recommendation from me, setting up emulation does require getting files from your PC to the Steam Deck. So I highly recommend installing KDE Connect on your PC. It comes pre-installed on the Steam Deck and it works just like AirDrop, letting you send files from your PC to the Steam Deck wirelessly. Also, apparently less than 1% of viewers are subscribed to the channel. So if you like the video, do me a solid, consider dropping a like and subscribing. Okay, to be honest though, most of the time when I'm using the Steam Deck, it's here, away from my desk and my PC, because I just want to chill out. But when I'm playing AAA games like God of War, well, it was a bit of a shame I couldn't get maxed out graphics while kicking back. But turns out there was actually a way to do that, and that's by streaming games from my PC straight to my Steam Deck. Well, there's actually two ways to do that, but for me, there's one clear winner, even if it takes a bit more time to set up. So initially I was using Steam's Remote Play, which is by far the easiest method. All I needed was for my PC to be running Steam and have the game I wanted to stream installed. And I could start this up straight from my Steam Deck. And just like that, I'm running God of War 4K 90Hz with ultra settings. And even though the Steam Deck doesn't have a 4K display, the image from my PC is actually being downsampled, so I get better graphics here. If you've got a good connection, latency is pretty low. Honestly, I'm hardly noticing anything here. So if it's so easy, why did I end up streaming with a different method? Well, there are a few issues, and they can be pretty big depending on your setup. You see, Remote Play streams your PC's display output directly to your Steam Deck. And what your PC is outputting depends on the monitors it's connected to. So if my PC is hooked up to an ultra-wide, it will stream the output of the ultra-wide, meaning I ended up with a really tiny screen on my Steam Deck because it was effectively squishing that ultra-wide's output onto my Steam Deck's tiny display. And even if I'm streaming from a standard 16:9 monitor, the Steam Deck's display has a 16:10 aspect ratio. So I'd have black bars at the top and the bottom of the screen, and I wouldn't be fully utilizing the Steam Deck's awesome OLED display. There is a setting that matches the resolution from the PC and the Steam Deck, but I lose out on the super sampling benefits, so the game just doesn't look as good as it could. So what's the fix? Well, it's to use the third-party apps Apollo and Moonlight. Apollo and Moonlight work together to stream my PC, but without the issues of Steam's Remote Play, by creating a virtual monitor on the PC, which is then streamed to the Steam Deck. I can then set the resolution from my Steam Deck so that the output from the PC matches the Steam Deck's aspect ratio perfectly. And I still get the benefits of super sampling. Now, this is where the fun really began, because by pairing the Steam Deck with a controller and then docking it to a TV, I can effectively get a console gaming setup as well. And this works amazingly. I don't notice any latency, there's no PC or console noise, and I'm getting 4K gameplay wirelessly from my PC, which just adds an extra layer of flexibility. And since I started using the Steam Deck docked, I even started to use it as a media player. By installing Jellyfin, which can be found straight from the Discover app, I can easily use the Steam Deck to watch media from my Jellyfin server. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with the Steam Deck OLED, because it's added so much flexibility to how I game. Because it's so easy to pick up and start, I found it's way easier to dive straight into a game, and because of sleep mode, it's also super easy to put down, making gaming feel effortless. But when I really want to max out my gaming experience, I pair it up with Apollo on my PC, and I'm getting maxed out graphics on a handheld device while I'm just chilling on the couch.